Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ATMA podcast, where we give you the tips, tools, and strategies you need to be successful. My name is Wendy, and I will be your host today. Today, we'll be talking about the new age of business with Bryan Acosta. Say hello, Bryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Ready to get this party started.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for this too. So before we begin, though, let me do a shout out to our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Nuvodesk Co-working. Nuvodesk Co-working is a collaboration type office area meant to help business owners and entrepreneurs think big. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur that needs an office space, conference room, or just a place to work, visit nuvodesk.com and get a free day pass. Our second sponsor is Or Delivery. Or Delivery is an online delivery service designed to help restaurants grow their business without those ridiculous overpriced commission rates. If you're a restaurant owner that is wanting to add an online delivery to your business, visit ordelivery.com. Now let's get to the show. Bryan, today we're talking about the new age of business. What is the topic all about?
Well, it's just like it sounds. It's all about, how people are doing business in today's age. There's like questions out there like, is business the same as it was 2 years ago? And obviously it's not, right? How was business during post-COVID, and how is business going to be now that COVID is a lot of people thought that COVID was going to go away, and it's not going away anytime soon. We don't have direct answers of when it's going to go away or if it's going to go away. But how do you continue to do business in this kind of environment? And then what is it like to be in this new normal, right? This new normal of like employment, buying habits, people aren't working the same, right? So that's what this is all about. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Awesome. So what do you think is the biggest challenge so far that you've seen from 3 years ago?
I think the biggest change is businesses focusing on their digital presence. Back in the day, it was like, actually 3 years ago when we started this business, we told people about their websites. It wasn't, people didn't really, not that they didn't take it seriously, but it wasn't a priority for them. You know what I mean? Like, It wasn't like something like hey, I really need a website. I really need social media. Because some businesses, they've made it 20 years, 30 years without a digital presence. And then boom, COVID hit, and it's like a necessity now. So that's like one of the biggest changes. And, we don't just say that just because we're digital marketers. It's literally what's happened. People are a lot more focused on their digital presence now than they were 3 years ago, for sure.
Right. Yeah. COVID definitely shifted everything digitally. So what would you say is the number one thing business owners need to do in this new age of business?
I think the biggest thing they need to do is just to rethink their business. And I hate to say it, but like a lot of people, they get tired of the word adapt or pivot. And I think that business owners hate those words, but it's why they hate those words? Because everybody in this world, the number one thing people do not like is uncertainty, right? And so like, what is marketing? It's testing. We talk about like A/B testing, testing one type of ad compared to the other. Well, literally what business owners are doing right now is A/B testing in their entire business. How they're doing business right now is completely just test and measuring, right?
Definitely, yeah. I would say change is a really hard thing for business owners that have been doing the same thing for 20 years, and then all of a sudden, COVID, everything digital, change is a really, really big thing. So what are some tips that you would give business owners for the rest of this year for 2021?
Biggest tips and things that I would do is focus on the big four, which is your website, digital presence, your search engine optimization, how you're popping up on Google, your social media presence, how your social media is doing, and then your sales process. And I'm going to go into a little bit of those like individually. So let's talk about like the website. What does your website really need to have? Well, number one, it depends on your business. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you're an appointment-based business, okay? Now, with the whole new age and the new buying habits that are happening out there, can somebody go to your website and book online? Can they book a strategy session, a call, or a Zoom call? Is your business set up for that, right? Because, here in Texas, people are out and about. But other states, people are still a lot of remote work and stuff like that. So people, if you're going to do like an appointment, some in-person appointments just won't work. And talking about people doing in Texas, why stop in Texas if people are going to be doing Zoom anyways in different states, different countries? Why not open it up? Why not open your business up to be able to, service those businesses using technology like Zoom and Hangouts and all that other good stuff of video conference calls? Another thing is the website. Do you sell products? Have you put your website into an e-commerce if you're retail or any kind of selling a product in store? Can you sell your product online? Does that make sense? Like, right. For instance, like we actually helped build Or Delivery, which is a delivery service app here in Arlington, which is, and everybody knows the big tech companies, DoorDash and Uber Eats. But restaurants, how are they adapting? Is they're using these third parties like Uber Eats and DoorDash and now Or Delivery to service and sell their food and products and get it delivered, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so, but how does that look like on their website? Do they have a point of sale system on their website? Does somebody have to call in every single time to place an order? Or are they making it easier for them to be ordering online? And in the restaurant industry, if you're a restaurant owner, right? Let's say you have one line and you have a bunch of people calling for takeout. It's kind of hard, and you're going to miss a lot of sales, right? And I've actually had this happen before too with one of my restaurants. I love tacos, and I tried calling multiple times, and the phone line was busy. If only they had some sort of way to order online so that makes this easier for the consumer. Well, they lost a sale that day.
Definitely. Yeah, I've had that happen, and I hate it.
Well, that's, just one of the things about websites, right? Like, people think of the website as just a marketing tool. It's not a marketing tool anymore. It is a full-on tool for your business to operate the business now.
Definitely. Yeah, it's the main piece of the puzzle. And like I tell people, without an efficient and effective and awesome website, you can have amazing social media, but if people go to your website and it's not as amazing, or it doesn't have much conversion tools or a way for people to communicate with you and easy to navigate, then you've lost a sale there. Definitely.
Exactly. And then, so once I call that the website kind of a conversion tool or a business tool is what I call it. Once that's set up and it's fast, it's quick, it's an operating tool now, it's a lead generation tool, it's mobile friendly, and that's a big thing too, because if your website isn't mobile friendly, you're not even ranking on Google anymore.
Right. Google's new algorithm that changed this April, I think.
I think it was March or April.
March.
One of those. So let's talk about Google, because it's a search engine search engine, right? And let's talk about search engine optimization. The number one thing people don't realize is that the website has everything to do with search engine optimization. So people think of search engine optimization. What is optimization? It's just optimization is to make something better, make something more relevant, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's just optimization. That's the word, optimization.
Yeah.
But when people think search engine optimization, they think they're going to optimize what? They think they're going to optimize Google. You don't optimize Google. You optimize what? You optimize your website. You optimize your listings, which is like your Google My Business, Yelp, Facebook. You're optimizing those tools of your business, of those different platforms that your business is on, to be found on Google.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Is like, if you're like trying to do search engine optimization, everything has to do with your website. How many blogs? How many blogs are you writing? I don't want to write blogs. What kind of content could I write about, my business? Well, that's how you rank on Google.
Right. And an important thing is updating your content as well. Now that you're talking about content, updating your content, being relevant is also what gets your rank higher.
Right. And then, so let's say that you rebuild a website, and a lot of people ask me this question too, is like, if I rebuild my website and I need to change my content on a consistent basis, does that mean I have to change the website on a consistent basis? And the answer to that is no. That's why you need blogging or some sort of like content, where you're giving your website more and more content without changing the infrastructure. That's why blogging is so important. you have to have blogging in order for it to update content on a consistent basis. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. I've also heard that you should update your website, redo your website every when do you think would be good?
It really depends, honestly.
On the industry?
It depends on the industry, but it also depends on what platform you're on. You know, like what interface. And what I mean by that is like WordPress, Wix, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I would say maybe every year to think about a redesign. I know that sounds very scary for a small business owner, but think about it this way. Facebook. How many times has Facebook changed its type of user flow?
A lot of times, definitely.
Right? Because people's behaviors change.
Yeah.
Right? So if your website is designed one way, well, in a year, behaviors are going to change.
Definitely, yeah.
It's like a trend, right? Like in fashion. You know, this is crazy. Let's talk about fashion. Let's talk about fashion, right? Everybody, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, it was very modern. But when I look outside today, people are going back to the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, that's what people used to wear in the 90s. Like it's a trend, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, the same thing. So we look at trends when it comes to user experience and user flows. So that's what we call it UI UX design, okay? So UI UX design is user interface and user experience, okay? So we take a look at your user experience and make sure that it's up to date or up to par with the trends and behaviors that are happening today.
Right.
So, so let's talk about social media. Let's get into social media. That's a fun topic, especially with the politics nowadays. But we're not going to get into politics, okay? So we're not going to talk about the politics. We're talking about, and some people refuse to use different platforms because of the politics. You know, don't talk about politics on social media. It's just a waste of time, to be honest with you. And if you know the algorithm of Facebook, then you know it's a waste of time anyways. See, Facebook and Instagram could be two things. You are either an end user or you are an operator using these tools to promote and sell your business. See, I don't think of Facebook as a personal tool anymore. My friends are on it. Sometimes they post things. Sometimes they post things about, politics. It doesn't bother me. I use Facebook for one thing and one thing only. Business. Because at the end of the day, money talks. You got to make money to live, okay? And if you're a business owner, your entire mentality of these social medias has to change. And to tell you the truth, like a lot of people are like, well, freedom of speech. Yeah, I can speak. I can do whatever I want. But at the same time, you have a public, figure, right? Which is part of you. It should be a part of your marketing strategy anyways.
Your personal branding and business branding.
Yeah, I taught you that, Randy, right? Public, yes. Yeah. You have a personal brand to uphold.
Right.
When people think of Bryan Acosta, what do they think about? Okay, and that's what you have to think. Okay, what kind of things do I have to post on social media? What kind of person do I want people to know me as?
Right.
And it's becoming like an actor or anything like that. It's not like you're acting, but it has a direct reflection of your business. Okay, because you are the business owner and you're the one that is the front face. No matter what, Advent Trinity will have Bryan and Ruben, right? Because we started the business. I mean, you've got a network, right? And what people say, I remember Bryan and Ruben. It just happens.
Yeah.
And we are the face of the company. Unfortunately, we have our personal brand to uphold.
Right. And being consistent with that.
Being consistent.
Yeah.
So social media, we talked about like if you're an end user or if you're an operator, right? So we're operators. So we look at the ads portion of Facebook and then the posting consistently, which a lot of people don't do. They don't post consistently, which, you get docked in points on that. If you're not, and it shows, right? Even if you run ads, you can have $1 million. If you're not posting on a frequent basis, Facebook will think you're a robot.
Right.
So you've got to do both organic and paid. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't, which one's better, organic or paid? Hey, people telling you that organic's better than paid or paid is better than organic, they don't know what they're talking about.
It's both, definitely.
It's both, okay? If you're growing your business, you got to do whatever it takes to grow the business, okay? I don't know if anybody here listens to Grant Cardone. A lot of people do. And, one of his books is 10 times, right? You got 10 times of the way you think. Well, guess what? You got 10 times the way you think of social media. You got to think 10 times the way you think about websites. So thank you, Grant Cardone. Hopefully you listen to this one day. But you can call me. I'll be on your podcast one day. But same, he has a point. People, they think, hey, I'm going to do organic, or hey, I'm going to do, you got to do it all until people, I hate to say it, but they hate you because they're like, oh, get off of my screen, right? But you're top of mind.
Right. You're there in front of their face, consistent.
And that's the game about marketing, is who comes to mind when it comes to your what
industry.
You're selling.
Right.
So if they're thinking website design, I hope that the first thing they think about is, boom, Adventure Marketing Agency. I need to call Bryan.
Right.
Or I need to call Wendy. Okay? So, and that's the name of the game. You have to invest in where you are literally programming these people's brains to think Advent Trinity, Bryan Acosta, website design. So if you're listening to this, Advent Trinity, Bryan Acosta, web design.
And definitely consistency is a big thing as well, because you have to, when people get into marketing, they think it's a quick, okay, I'm going to do some ads, do this, and everything is going to be, I'm going to get so many leads on the first month and everything. But it usually takes a while, like 2-3 months to eventually start seeing results. You don't see results immediately. You have to be consistent and keep on doing things and add more services. Like if you get the website, get also website SEO, and optimize and keep on having maintenance and just keep going like that, and you'll see growth over time.
Well, the number one, a lot of people, 97% of businesses fail, and the number one reason is cash flow. Okay. But I think another part of that is consistency.
Right.
Yeah. Think about all the greats, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. They preach. If you go to YouTube. Just YouTube, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and then talking points. Man, they had a rough startup, but they were consistent and they never gave up. And that's what a lot of business owners do. They give up because they're thinking about the get rich quick. And it just 97% of businesses want to get rich quick. That's why they're the 97% of businesses. The 3%, they don't think like that.
Right.
They think of consistency. They think about the things that we're talking about, but they also think about their sales process. How does that intertwine with everything that they're doing? And how many calls are they making? How many emails are they sending? Are they doing enough? Are you doing enough to grow your business? And that's the number one thing you got to think about in your business. Are you doing enough?
Right.
You can't depend on your marketing agency. They're doing their best, but you can't depend on that. And I hate to say it because we're a marketing agency, but a lot of people are like, I'm depending on you. Then what are you doing? Are you making phone calls? Are you making emails? Because that's what I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And like you said, consistency, that's a difference as well. Like you said, the 3%, the top 1%, the difference is motivation and discipline. You're motivated right now, but for a short period of time. But what happens when you're not motivated? Are you disciplined enough to keep on going and keep on growing? Or is that motivation just going to stop and you're going to stop as well? So that's a really big thing as well with what you're saying.
Yeah. So we have some case studies. So, let's go into the next question. Ask me the next question.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how ATMA has helped business owners adapt in 2021?
Yeah, let's talk about our case studies. Because I told this business owner the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Yeah. So let's talk about it. So we helped BFF Asian Grill and Sports Bar, and we also helped Nouveau Desk. So let's talk about BFF Asian Grill and Sports Bar. He came to me during COVID and said, "Guys, I think I'm going to have to cut social media." I said, "You are out of your mind, sir. This is what we're going to do. We're going to help you out. We're going to lower it, but we're going to do some less posting, but we're going to do more ads. But you got to keep social media. If you destroy your social media, you will die like the rest of the restaurants," is what I told him. I was very direct. And then what happened? This year alone, they had the most gross revenue they've ever had in their entire life of business. Why? Because they not only did they have new incoming people that were actually staying home that probably commuted to Dallas, but they had people that were returning. So guess what? They 3 times their revenue this year.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Okay. And it's because they were consistent and I didn't allow them not to be consistent. Okay, so same thing with Nuvodesk Co-working. They opened their doors. Think about this. They opened their doors 6 months before COVID.
Oof.
6 months before COVID. We're in Nuvodesk right now. Look around, right? They're almost 100% occupancy now. You know why? If you're looking at me, you know why? Because I did not allow them to give up. I said, you will not turn off social media. You will not turn off social media. You won't turn off your ads. If we have to help you out, we will help you out, but you're not going to do it. And guess what? In return, they are packed. They're happy. Obviously, they're paying us more because why? Because we earned it.
Right.
So, yeah. Let's talk about results, right? Let's go into the next question.
Okay, so where does a business owner start? They have a lot to think about, but where do you think they should start?
I think they need to start with planning. And what they want. What is their unique selling point? Have they even thought about their unique selling point? Have they thought about what makes them separate? What makes them unique? Have they thought about what is it going to take to be successful? Because a lot of business owners, they go into business thinking, okay, I have X amount of funds, and I'm gonna fund my paycheck, and I'm also gonna fund operations. How are you gonna have anything to operate if you have nothing coming in the door? Because a lot of people, they don't even think about the marketing or advertising. It is the last thing on their mind. And here's the biggest mistake. Revenue comes first. That's why the 97% fail. Because of cash flow, right?
Right.
Cash flow. First thing you got to do is how I'm going to make money. How is the business going to make money? And how is it going to fund my paychecks and the rest of my employees' paychecks?
Definitely setting a budget for marketing. If you watch on YouTube, a lot of business owners, how to start a business, and they set different amounts for each of their things, the equipment that they have to buy, everything, but they also set a budget for marketing. There's plenty of businesses that spend thousands of dollars a month just on their marketing to get more foot traffic.
And I'm not just saying this because I'm a marketer, but because if you are thinking about opening a business, I would say the majority of your revenue needs to go to marketing and sales. You know why? Because without that, you will not have no operations.
Exactly.
I don't care how good your product is. A lot of good products die.
Definitely.
97%, according to the Small Business Administration. Yeah, that's...
Of businesses fell.
And ideas.
Oof.
Not even that. Some of them don't even come to light. So we help Or Delivery get developed, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to the developer. He said 97% of apps don't get completed. Don't even make it to the market. You know why? They run out of funds.
That's crazy. And we already have above 1,000 users.
Oh, yeah. Because we're that good. But anyways, so if you're asking me what to do, honestly, it's think about it. Think just like Nuvodesk. Think big, right?
Think big.
Think bigger than what you're thinking. Budget.
Definitely.
Have a plan. If there's plenty of tools out there. Google business plan, and you will be able to download a business plan. And then after you do a business plan, Google marketing plan.
Your financial plan.
No, marketing plan, which is your financial plan, I guess you could say, but the financial plan of just the marketing.
Oh, okay.
Because in a business plan, you will actually go through what we call an income and expense report. Okay, an income and expense report is what do you plan on and generating, and then what do you plan on the expenses will be. Let me tell you something right now, okay? If you're doing a business plan, you need to 10 times the amount of marketing you think you're going to need.
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
telling you right now, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to get away with $10,000 in marketing. No. If your operating expenses $250,000, multiply $250,000 by 0.15, and that will be the amount of marketing dollars you're going to need. What is that? Let's just so people can kind of get an idea, right? Let's say that I want to make a $250,000. $250,000 is $250,000, by the way. If I times that by 15%, you need $37,500 in marketing and advertising dollars going out. Minimum. For the year. So, think big. That's all I got. That's all I got to say for this new age. If you're thinking new age, hey,
think big.
And here's the thing about the new age. Like we talked about how post COVID and now COVID, right, is still kind of going on. I help with the hiring process with order delivery, and let me tell you something: finding workers to work in person is hard,
especially now because of COVID, right?
Yep, everybody wants to work remote, and then my clients that own restaurants. I can make a phone call to a restaurant right now. I said, "Are you short staffed?" They're gonna be like, "Yes," because nobody wants to work. Everybody wants to work digitally. So how are you adapting? You gotta think differently.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later in different episodes. Is not just marketing, but marketing does come first because that's how you generate cash flow. Without cash flow, you can't even think about how you're gonna adapt and operate your business.
Definitely.
So that's all I got for today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Bryan. And our next episode will be about selling in 2021 with Bryan Acosta. We would like to say thank you again to our sponsors, Nuvodesk and Or Delivery, for supporting the ATMA podcast. My name is Wendy, and I will see you next time. Thank you.